Well, good morning, Diet Disruptors. Carrie here, along with Coach Brenna again. Hey,
Hello, hello.
Brenna.
Hi, Carrie.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. It's a bright Monday morning. How you feeling?
Excellent.
Everything good?
Doing great. Doing great. I'm happy to be here. And hello, everybody.
I'm so glad that you're here. So you were on a couple of weeks ago with us, and we talked about
Yes.
setting up for success this whole month. We are talking about how we're going to rock 2021. How's 2021 going for you? The last time we talked, you were going to implement your morning routine. How's that
Yes.
going?
Yes. And it's actually going well. And it kind of goes well with what we're talking about today as far as habits and really kind of getting that mind shift and getting good habits in place. So I told you I would try it and I'm doing it. So
I love that.
yeah.
And you know what? I think that's a great example of how even coaches need coaching, right? And
Yes.
so I think that challenging you to do that and then me holding you accountable is
Yes.
really
I knew
powerful.
you'd ask. I
Yeah,
knew you'd
and I
ask.
was
So
checking in with her a little bit too, making sure she was
yes.
doing it. But even when I do our 4 weeks to wellness lifestyle launch, I wrote the dang program, but I still do it a couple of times a year because I need a reset. It's like an oil change for your car, and I always bring on a
Mm-hmm.
coach to coach me while I'm doing it because that
Sure.
accountability is really important. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today because here's the thing. I know that so many people get motivated right at the beginning of the new year, right? And they're like, "New year, new me. I'm gonna rock it." We had a bad 2020. I had the quarantine 19 or whatever people were calling it, the COVID 19, and I'm gonna do it. And then we realized, oh gosh, it's January 1st. I don't really feel like it. I'm gonna tell you guys a really dirty secret. My Christmas tree is still up. I just haven't been motivated. And so it's like, as much as I was like, my house is going to be all in order this year, and I was super motivated to do it, my dang tree is still up. Okay. So we have to have better strategies than just, yay, let's do it. Because we all know by like January 2nd, we're not so motivated anymore. Does that ever happen to you,
Right.
Brenna?
Oh gosh, yes. Every single January 1st, January 2nd. I mean, we get motivated up until New Year's Eve and then January 1st. And like you said in the last time we spoke, was, nothing magical really happens on the first. So,
Right.
where's the motivation?
So that's why this whole month is so important. And we're
Yes.
giving you strategies. First, we talked about setting up for success. And then Coach Jackie and I talked about being prepared. And so this week, you and I are talking about motivation. When motivation isn't enough. And I think this is the perfect time for this because this is always about the time where that happens. And so Brenna, you're an educator. I was an educator for 24 years. And I know that every year I would start my classroom. I used to love to get into my classroom in August and get it all set up.
Yes.
My bulletin boards were perfect. Everything was right. My desks were all lined up. I was super motivated. And then it got hard. I was
Mm-hmm.
tired. It was work. And I would leave my classroom so many times with like the desks shoveled, like that motivation always weaned. Or how
Right.
about when you set your alarm at night because you are motivated to work out in the morning and then you're tired and you don't want to wake up and you don't do it?
Yes.
I mean, we know
Yes.
motivation isn't consistent, yet
Right.
that seems to be always our strategy because when we're not motivated anymore, what do we say? We're like, I'm just not motivated anymore. Like that's
Right.
a
Mm-hmm.
viable rationale for not doing something.
Right. But then thinking that tomorrow I'll have the motivation that I wanted today. I'll just wait until tomorrow to find that motivation. And that doesn't work either because you're
Yeah.
not really strategizing.
No, I went to an amazing training with Tony Robbins. Oh, like how cool is
Mm-hmm.
that, right? And he talked
Right.
about how he's, a cajillionaire, whatever, how much money he has. In all of his houses all over the world, he has a cold pool. And every single morning, he jumps into this cold pool of water. And he says, I never, not once have I ever woken up and was like, yeah, I am ready to jump in the water. I don't want to do it. But I'm not going to negotiate with myself. I have a clear purpose and a reason why I'm doing it, and I just do it. I don't talk myself through it. I don't play games with myself. I just do it. I get out and I move on with my day. And it became a habit for him, but also
Right.
he knew his why and he just did it. And he didn't
Right.
overthink it. I mean, we negotiate with ourselves, don't you think? And we make it harder than it needs to
Absolutely.
be.
Absolutely, we do. Absolutely, we do. I think about my alarm clock, and I think about trying to motivate myself and thinking how long it was that I would set my alarm clock for 15 minutes before I wanted to wake up, press snooze because I knew I had 15 minutes, but my clock was set for 10 minutes later than it actually was. So I made it more difficult for myself because in the morning, trying to find motivation, I was actually laying in bed doing math. Like, what time is it really? How many times can I press snooze? And it was just exhausting. So I got into this terrible habit of trying to motivate myself that was so unmotivating, and I did it forever.
Oh my gosh,
So I
isn't that
absolutely
funny?
get it.
You were doing math when you could have just gotten
Yeah,
up. Right.
right,
Right. So
right.
I think it's really, really interesting. So we're going to talk about what happens when motivation leaves. And I want you to stay to the end because we're doing something that we've never, ever done before. And I'm going to tell you about it. It is a way that you are going to rock 2021 and in a way that's super affordable and still full of support. So hold on, wait till the end. I can't wait to tell you all about it. We're like giddy over in the coaches corner, don't you think? Right?
I'm so excited.
All right, so let's talk about this. So I think the first thing that Tony Robbins sings hits me because he talked about why he built a cold pool. Okay, and in all of his houses, I would never do that, but whatever. There was a real reason why, and there was like a physiological reason, an emotional reason, and it was strong and it was powerful for him. So when he had a why, he did it. He didn't do math in the morning. He didn't negotiate with himself. He didn't need to be motivated because his why was really strong. And I mean, I think about it right now. Like if you step outside of your house, you're putting on a mask. I don't ever want to put on a mask. Do you?
Right. No,
You're
no,
not
not at all.
motivated to put on a mask,
Not
but
at all.
everybody in the world is doing it because
Right.
our why is really strong.
Right.
I mean, could you
Right.
imagine
No,
a year
absolutely.
ago if saying that we would have all been wearing a mask?
No, and I can't imagine a year ago thinking that I'd go to work and say to somebody, I really like your mask. No,
Or
absolutely not.
I'm coordinating my outfit with my mask.
Right. Exactly. I'm expecting one in the mail today with like crystals on it. I'm so excited, but I never thought I'd say that a year ago either.
Exactly. So I'm not motivated to wear a mask, but I wear a mask
Yes.
because the why is really strong,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's like required, and I get the reason why we need to. And
Right.
for an entire globe to change their behavior that drastically, you have to have a strong why. So if
Absolutely.
you don't have a strong enough why, get one because that trumps motivation. So Brenna,
Absolutely.
for example, like why now? You can't be just getting up to do morning time because Carrie told me to.
Right.
Maybe that will
Right.
work for a couple of weeks, but
Right.
it's not really going to become a habit for you.
Right.
Why is morning time for you now important?
Well, and I bring this all back to community too, and the accountability and really not thinking about it in the way that I needed to have a why. But I think when we spoke last, I talked about, my children and my health and being an older mom to have, a 13-year-old, 15-year-old. And my why, I realized that with these children, I have to get them out, get them, take them to an alternate location so they can do schooling. And it would be just in my house, like all the three of us together, just, who's doing this, who's doing that. And so just to give myself that extra time, making my alarm clock so it wasn't so confusing and really kind of digging into how can we make this easier, not harder, and make everything kind of flow. So I'm not so disruptive and
Yeah.
making things harder for my home.
Right. So when you're really like, okay, this is why it matters, then you're going to do it. And
Yes.
you don't need to be motivated anymore. You get out of bed even though you don't want to. You stop doing math and you just do it. You
Right.
just literally do it. So that's
Right.
the first thing. Stop thinking that motivation is going to get you anywhere. It's like a little bit of jet fuel that will propel you for a little while, but it won't last for long. It will
Right.
fizzle out. And yet we all know this, but we have no other strategies. So first, your why has to be strong. I want to see, like, I always have Post-it notes. Post-it note. Put your whys in different places, right? And make sure that you have people around you that are going to remind you of that why, that aren't going to be like, yeah, I know when you're not motivated, it's just so hard. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Right. And I'm not talking about
Right.
morning time. I'm talking about getting to the grocery store or eating your PFC meals, like whatever it is that you're not motivated to do, going to the gym, figure out the why. And that will propel you. Tony Robbins doesn't want to jump into his cold pool, but he built it in every house.
Right.
His
And I
why is
love that
really strong.
example.
Yep.
And that's powerful.
Yep.
That's powerful, Carrie.
And so let's then talk about that, because then we need habits. We need stronger habits. And in our 4 weeks to wellness lifestyle launch, or in our exclusive premier coaching program, our 12-week trifecta transformation, we dig into habits. And we talk about the fact that when you do even just one thing at a time, it's amazing. Science, we talk a lot about James Clear in his book, Atomic Habits. Doing one thing triggers other things. And it's almost like a little bit of rocket fuel every single time. So if you are deciding, okay, I need to eat healthier, and I need to work out, and I need to do PFT, and I need to drink my water, it's too much. It's too much at once.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So what is like one thing that somebody could do? Let's say they have a whole list of things that they want to do all at once, and they're like super motivated, but then it's just hard because that's a lot of things to figure out. Huge changes at once don't stick. So like, and think about all those things. What is one thing people could do that might trigger another thing down the road?
Well, for me, what works and what I didn't normally do, which I knew was probably the basis of everything that we need to do with looking at our nutrition, is to always have water. And I can't tell you how much I will always have a water bottle, and it gets annoying to my kids. I mean, their mom's water bottle, but I will always have it, because I think what that is triggered is, number one, I realize I'm doing it for my health. And number two, a lot of times when we're hungry, we don't understand, we can't differentiate the difference between being hungry or being thirsty. So when you're dehydrated and you're eating, but you don't feel satiated, probably because you're thirsty. So this has really changed how I look at everything. I mean, just having water handy and knowing that my body needs it has helped me through any hunger. You know, I'm not hungry because I do my PFC every 3. And so just that one habit has, it shows me my mindset and where I'm going. And it's a big reminder of my why.
Yep. I totally agree. Like one thing at a time. For me, like, I know that if I don't have the right food in the house, I'm a mess. So like I'll talk to a lot of clients and say, just get your butt to the grocery store. Just buy a bunch of food. That's it. Don't plan any meals. Don't do any of that. Just buy a bunch of food. That triggers other habits that come in. But like, what is your one habit? And for me, water is actually a struggle for me. And so I get this water bottle, it's 32 ounces. And if I fill it twice, I get my water in. And so that makes it easier for me, but one thing at a time. So that's the other piece. Stop relying on motivation to propel you, and think about what one habit can you implement today and tomorrow, and it will likely trigger other habits, but just focus on one right now. All right. And then the last piece, for the moment anyway, is thinking about the fact that I held you accountable to morning time, right? And like, you said, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. To me, accountability within a community is like a way to have all these things in one: motivation, inspiration, purpose, accountability. With like-minded people, you're more up to do it. And when you see other people doing it, you're like, there's no reason I can't do that. So to me, community matters. Don't you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, when I think about the accountability, and I don't want anybody to think that accountability is pressure, you know, so it's not accountability doesn't mean that we're going to smack anybody down for not doing it, you know. And when we talked about, you know, the 15-minute morning, you know, I would get a text message from you just saying, hope you enjoyed your 15 minutes. And it wasn't did you do it? What did you do? It was more of here's your reminder, Brenna, you know, I know you're supposed to be doing this. So it's not a beat down. It's reminders. It's help. It's whatever you need to be held accountable that we will give, and that what we find in this community. So it's a powerful thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so that's why, like, again, I always say, wherever you are in disruptive nutrition, we have a place for you. There's multiple places to plug in community. Our free Facebook group, right? Diet Disruptor Squad right here is amazing, but it doesn't It's like getting a gift that you never open. And by the way, I still
Yes.
have some gifts under my tree that I haven't given. I have not given that gift yet. They haven't received the benefit of the gift. And so this community, our free Facebook group, is a gift that you can or cannot decide to use. But it doesn't do any
Right.
good for you if it's just sitting on the tree unopened.
Right.
So use our community. Those of you in our membership group, uh, we do some really fun things in there and have a lot of great opportunities. And I have given the opportunity before to say, you need me to hold you accountable, I'll send you a text in the morning. And I've done that for our members before. So if you're a
Yes.
member and you need something like that, reach out and I'll do that for you for a week or two to get you on track. Now, the thing that we talked about, so like habits, one thing, a purpose, and community, right? There's got all of those become motivating. But when motivation is our only strategy, you end up doing math in the morning to negotiate with yourself.
Right.
And it's ridiculous.
I know, but until you really get yourself involved with the community that will point stuff out that, and not in a demeaning way, but just like really, I think of it as really self-reflecting and
Yeah.
aha moments where we wouldn't have had if we didn't have this community
Yeah.
of people, like I refer to our tribe. So I just think that it wasn't something that I even thought of as a negative. And it
Yep.
was something that was such a negative in my life. And it wasn't something that I had anticipated changing. Like I said, a year ago to now, I wouldn't think, I mean, I wouldn't think I'd be on here, doing a live with you, let alone changing any habits that I had.
Right. Right.
So, and it just because of that community where I got involved, I enjoyed it. I got deeper involved, and to the point where I did take the plunge to do Forex Wellness and loved it and became a coach. And I would not have ever thought about that, but it was the community and it was the support, and it's just,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. It's
Right.
unbelievable.
And
So
so
the
there's
gift, like
no
you said,
reason to we have to I think what you just said was really, really insightful. It's like it's almost about the self-awareness, right? And so what we have to
yes,
be aware of is, yeah, I do use motivation as my technique. And that technique doesn't serve me. It hasn't served me in how many decades, right? It's
right,
rocket fuel and it's great for a little while. It's great for like, organizing your basement real quick when you like need a push, or, organizing your
right,
Tupperware in your drawer when you're like ready, but it's
right,
not sustainable for a long-term
right,
health and wellness plan. So
right.
this is what we're going to do. We're really excited. So we're a way to rock 2021, a way to get you into community, a way to give you a little motivation and some skills, as well as help you define your purpose. The coaches put together a really fun challenge. So on February 1st, we are going to start a shake challenge. Now, those of you that have followed us for a while, we fuel our body with food all day long, proteins, fats, and carbs, PFC every 3. We do a lot of work and understanding about clean eating and things like that. But PFC every 3, some people think I can't eat that much, or I'm too busy, or all that kind of stuff. We can negate all of that. We have strategies. And one strategy is that we replace a meal. I mean, we eat 5 or 6 times a day. If you're up really late, you're eating 7 times a day. But if you replace a couple of those meals, let's say you eat 5 times a day, you replace a couple of those meals with a PFC balanced shake, you're eating 3 meals a day. It's not that
Right.
hard. And you can make them grab and go meals. And so, but what you need to understand is what you need to do is just do it. And you need some support and guidance, and you need a good purpose, and you need a community. So we are going to do a free program for people called Shake It Up. And we are going to show you how to make PFC balanced shakes, all different kinds that taste amazing, that are like named after like cookies and all that kind of stuff, and taste like it. Like you'll never want to go to Starbucks for anything again, because these are amazing and they will help you towards your goals. So it's going to be a free group. We're going to make a pop-up Facebook group. And you can go in there, and our coaches, we're going to post every day 2 shake recipes. And so you can be trying different shake recipes and replacing one of your meals with a PFC balanced shake. And the program's going to be totally free. All you have to do is buy 2 bags of shake of our favorite shakes, our Arbonne shakes, which for many, many reasons are our absolute favorite.
Yes.
And it's not even just that they're good, that they're importantly good. Like they're the best out there for our bodies. And so 2 bags of shakes, that's it. And you are in this program. So you get a community, you get to ask questions, you get to try out PFC in a way that will work, and it will be fun. So if you're interested in that, we're going to leave it open for the week. You got to get your shake in time. That's your entry ticket, basically. And think about it. It's going to last you, 2 bags of shakes will last you. If you do 2 shakes a day, 2 bags will last you 2 months. So like, this is really simple. Okay.
Right,
So
right.
we are going to do, actually, will it last you 2 months? It will last you 1 month. No, 2 months. There's 30 shakes in a bag. So if you do 1 shake a day, so 1 shake a day will give you 2 months. If you do 2 shakes a day,
right.
Okay, there you go. Anyway, so disruptyournutrition.com/shake it up. So we'll have a link here. We'll have it on our website. You have to register for it, and then we'll connect with you to get your order in, and then you can be in the group. So I'm excited. Leave a little comment if you're like, yay, shake it up. Yeah. It's going to be fun. We've never done this before. It should be a really good time. The shakes are amazing, don't you think?
Oh gosh, I could live on shakes. There are so many different combinations. And I think that when people think of shake and they are not used to it, they think, oh, just a blah shake, but
yeah,
oh my
or
God,
a gross
they're so amazing.
Shake.
Yes, with aftertaste and
yes,
none
of that. None of that.
This is exciting.
I have lots of clients, and if you're one of them that said I don't like shakes, and now you love shakes, you should make a comment, because I know so many of my clients that said that. I'm like, just try it. Let's see what it's like. So shake it up. Disruptyournutrition.com/shake it up. It'll be fun. We're going to do it February 1st. It will last 2 weeks. You'll be in this private group for 2 weeks, and we'll be there with you. Well, Brenna, that was awesome. And I'm excited to be able to spend time with you, and just kind of to share with people what, these strategies that I wish I had so many years ago. So we're kind of paying it forward now that we know. And so I think the shake program and even this free content that we are delivering all the time in our group just really goes to show, like, wherever you are in your journey, we have a place for you at Disruptive Nutrition, and we very much mean that. So if you want to reach out to work with us more exclusively, please do. And if this is what you need and this is what you can do, then do this, but do something, because this is a need, not a want.
Yes.
You got to take care of yourself and do it the right way. You can't keep going around this yo-yo dieting nightmare. All right, y'all. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Bye.